Hi, I'm Bill Rice. I am the CEO of Messer Financial and one of the founding partners. We created the Legacy program in direct response to concerns that our agents had in regards to they're building this wonderful book of business, right? They're hopefully making a great living. God forbid something happens to them, they want to make sure that their family is taken care of. And that's difficult in insurance. Left to its own, if it's Med Advantage, there are laws that require the agent to be ready to sell in order for the insurance carrier to pay the commissions. And obviously, if they pass away, there's no longer an agent attached to the policy, and the carriers by law cannot pay. So we see the carriers somewhere between 60 and 90 days will simply stop paying. So God forbid, an agent passes away and they've built this wonderful book and they're making, $300,000 a year, just say $25,000 a month. Well, in 60 to 90 days, that check just stops coming and their family is denied that legacy, if you will. The way in the past that agents used to be able to try and get around that was they'd have to incorporate an agency. They'd have to try and find somebody to be that agent if they passed away. Then there's a worry of, can they trust that person? Is their spouse going to get licensed? It was rather difficult, and there was always uncertainty around it. So we went to our law firm and they crafted the Legacy program for us, which basically is an addendum to our existing Messer contract. And it allows the agent, God forbid that they pass away, to sell their book of business to us. We immediately take the agent of record when they pass away, and we contractually agree to pay their family all of that money for 10 years. The lifetime of a Med Advantage policy is about 8 years, thus the 10 years on it that we're taking care of that family and allowing that money to continue on to that family. We're licensed in every state, so Roy Messer becomes the agent of record. We have an internal group here that services those policies, and all of that money, every penny of it, continues to pay to that beneficiary's, whether that's their spouse or their kids or their sister or their mother. It continues on that money. And it's not just Med Advantage, because some agents get confused and they think, well, that's not true on the ACA side, because they say insurance carriers continue to pay that. And that is true, except we all know in the ACA market, 2 carriers win every year, the 2 lowest price carriers. So if you have a book of 1,000 clients and they're with, let's just say United Healthcare, and then God forbid after you pass away, United Healthcare pulls out of that market, as we've seen, not from them, but from other carriers, or they just become uncompetitive, those 1,000 clients have to be moved to another carrier, and your family would lose all of that money if you're not here to be able to service them. And the Legacy program, we're protecting the client, not the carrier. So we would move those clients and still pay your family that money, right? So it's significant on both sides of that. And the whole goal is simply to protect your family. For our agents and the agents that take advantage of it, they love it. I mean, it's truly peace of mind, right? They've built this amazing book of business. It gives them peace of mind knowing that they've protected their families in order to do it. On the outside, sometimes we see people have disbelief, right? They think, oh, that's not possible, right? And so we have to explain to them and show them the contract so they can understand what it is we're trying to do. And then of course, there's the natural hesitation of, why would you do that? And I think that's because most FMOs, they're businesses that exist to make money. We feel like insurance agents have a fiduciary responsibility to their client. By law, they're supposed to do the right thing for their client above their own interest. So when Roy and I created Messer, we felt like our fiduciary responsibility now flows to the agent. So we're supposed to put the agent's interest above ours. And I think we're unique as an FMO in that we're the only ones that do that. This is our actions, not our words, saying, hey, we actually care, right? So we are doing what we can to help preserve your book of business, that can go to your family if something happens to you. It's totally free. It's a voluntary addendum to our contract, and it's 100% revocable. So if they grow and become a big agency and decide they no longer need it, they can simply revoke it. But we encourage even our agencies that have partners, we encourage them to still do it as a plan B, because a lot of times partners travel together and they may both pass away in the same car wreck or airline or whatever. And then what happens to that money if there's no partner there to actually service it, right? Because one of those 2 partners or both of them are attached to different contracts, and the same laws would apply and not allow that to be serviced. So we can absolutely be that backup plan for an agency to make sure that that money continues on to their families or to their agency while it's being reorganized, who knows. But it's certainly better than crossing your fingers and hoping something happens, right?